What really happened at Incheon airport when Jimin and Taehyung burst into tears while Jungkook held them close? Was it a silent goodbye, a hidden pain, or something deeper that ARMY was never meant to see? Stay with us, comment your thoughts below, hit like if you felt the emotion, and subscribe for more BTS updates, because this story will make your heart tremble. T began like any other departure day. The flashing lights, the crowd of ARMYs pressed behind barriers, the sound of cameras clicking in a restless rhythm. But that morning, Incheon airport wasn't just an ordinary gate of departure. It became the emotional epicenter of something bigger, something raw and heartbreaking that no one could have predicted. What exactly made Jimin and Taehyung cry? Why did Jungkook suddenly hold them as if letting go meant breaking apart forever? As the cameras rolled and fans screamed, something shifted in the air. The sight of Taehyung, eyes glistening with unspoken pain, walking beside Jungkook while Jimin trailed behind, already looked unusual. ARMYs watching live could feel it. A tension wrapped in affection, a silence heavier than any goodbye. Then it happened. Taehyung's expression broke. His lips trembled as tears welled up, and before anyone understood, Jungkook turned, opened his arms, and pulled both Taehyung and Jimin close. The crowd gasped. Reporters stopped clicking for a second. Time froze. Was it exhaustion after endless schedules? Or was it the quiet weight of parting ways, even temporarily, after years of standing side by side? The hug wasn't just a hug. It was a language of emotion, a confession spoken without words. Jimin buried his face against Jungkook's shoulder, his sobs muffled but visible through trembling breaths. Taehyung's hand clenched on Jungkook's jacket as if afraid that once he let go, everything would scatter. Jungkook didn't say anything. He just held them tighter, eyes closed, his jaw tense, his expression unreadable. Fans watching from every corner of the world began flooding social media. Why are they crying? Did something happen before the flight? Is this their last moment together before Paris? The questions spread like wildfire, yet no one had answers. What everyone agreed on was that the emotion was too real to fake, too deep to ignore. Those who had followed BTS for years knew that behind the glamour of airports and flashing smiles, there were countless sleepless nights, sacrifices, and moments of silent struggle. Incheon for them had always been more than a travel hub. It was a recurring stage of beginnings and farewells. From their early debut days to now as global icons, the airport witnessed every chapter of their growth. But this time felt different. This wasn't just about travel. It was about emotion, loyalty, and maybe pain. A few moments later, Taehyung wiped his tears quickly, trying to smile at the cameras. Jimin followed, clutching Jungkook's hand for a brief second before letting go. Jungkook gave a small nod, a gesture that looked like reassurance, like a silent, "It's okay, we'll be fine." But ARMYs knew. They always knew when something deeper was happening. Was it related to the Paris schedule? Was there tension among them before this moment? Or was it simply the overflowing emotion of three men who've carried the same dream for over a decade, now facing separate paths even for just a few days? Whatever it was, it wasn't just sadness. It was love in its most human, unfiltered form. Clips of the scene began circulating online. The hashtags #Taehyung cried, #Jungkook comforts Jimin, and #emotional Incheon trended worldwide within minutes. Some fans speculated it was due to exhaustion. Others whispered about emotional stress before departure. A few even believed it was a sign of something deeper between them, a quiet storm of memories, a bittersweet goodbye wrapped in a hug that said everything words could not. Observers noticed how Jungkook, despite his calm demeanor, seemed to hold back tears himself. His eyes glistened briefly as he exhaled, his hands trembling slightly as he patted Taehyung's back. Those close to BTS knew Jungkook's tendency to protect, to comfort, to carry emotions silently. In that moment, he wasn't the golden magne. He was the glue holding his brothers together. And what about Jimin? His expression after the hug told its own story. Red eyes, a soft smile, a deep breath. He waved at fans with his usual sweetness, but the sparkle in his eyes was dimmed. Some fans claimed they saw him mouthing something to Taehyung before walking off. "Don't cry anymore." Others believed Jungkook whispered something too, something that made Taehyung nod slowly, as if promising to stay strong. But why at Incheon? Why there and why now? The airport, once filled with joy and routine fan greetings, suddenly turned into a space of confession. A place where walls broke down and hearts spoke louder than fame. Maybe it was because airports are symbolic. They mark transitions, arrivals, departures, endings, and beginnings. For BTS, Incheon isn't just a gate to another country. It's a mirror reflecting how far they've come and how much they've endured. Some fans wondered if this moment hinted at something upcoming, perhaps a turning point, a new project, or even a temporary separation. Could it be that emotions boiled over as the members prepared to part ways for solo commitments? The answers remain unspoken, yet the feeling lingers. The scene replayed endlessly across social media, with armies confessing they couldn't stop crying. Even hours after the incident, fans at the airport described the atmosphere as surreal. One witness shared, "When Taehyung started crying, everything went silent. Even people who didn't know what was happening just felt something. It was real, pure emotion." Another said, "Jungkook looked like he wanted to protect them both. It wasn't performance, it was brotherhood." Perhaps that's what makes BTS different. Their connection runs deeper than music, deeper than fame. It's not about who sings the most or dances best. It's about moments like this, raw, unscripted, where love becomes visible in the most unexpected places. As the plane took off, fans remained outside, waving banners and crying. Some whispered prayers, others sang softly, "Spring Day," the song that always resurfaces during emotional moments. The irony wasn't lost. Spring Day is about longing, waiting, and missing someone. And at that very moment, armies were already missing them, even before they were gone. So what really happened at Incheon that day? Was it exhaustion, unspoken tension, or just the overwhelming emotion of goodbye? Maybe we'll never know the full truth. But one thing is certain, that moment, that tearful hug, became immortal. It was no longer just an airport scene, it was a memory that carved itself into the heart of every fan who witnessed it. And you, yes, you reading this, what did you feel when you saw them cry? Do you think it was just stress or something more? Tell us in the comments below what your heart whispered when you saw Jungkook, Jimin, and Taehyung embrace at Incheon. Don't forget to like this story if you felt the same emotion, and subscribe to our channel for more moments that remind us why BTS isn't just a group, they're a family, because sometimes the most powerful stories aren't told on stage. They're whispered through tears at an airport called Incheon. As the echo of footsteps faded and the plane doors finally closed, Incheon Airport returned to its usual rhythm. The hum of announcements, the rolling of luggage, the distant chatter of travelers. Yet for armies who stood there moments before, everything still felt suspended in time. The energy left behind by Jungkook, Jimin, and Taehyung lingered in the air like a haunting melody that refused to fade. Fans who had recorded the moment began replaying it, frame by frame. Every movement, every glance, every trembling breath became evidence of something meaningful, something bigger than any performance. One clip showed Jimin clutching Jungkook's hand just before boarding. Another captured Taehyung turning back, his eyes scanning the crowd one last time, as if trying to hold on to the moment before stepping into the unknown. That single turn, that single look broke millions of hearts across the world. Social media erupted with theories and interpretations. Some fans suggested that Jimin and Taehyung had an emotional talk the night before the flight. Others speculated that the hug was a form of silent reconciliation. Perhaps something had been weighing on their hearts for weeks, and the airport became the only place they could let go. Still, others believed it was simply the product of exhaustion, the culmination of years of pressure, schedules, and emotional restraint finally cracking open. And no matter the reason, the effect was undeniable. Armies who watched from home cried as if they were there. "I could feel their pain through the screen," one comment said. "It didn't feel like idols saying goodbye. It felt like family breaking apart." Another wrote, "The way Jungkook held them, it was like he was trying to hold the group together with his arms." The world has seen BTS cry before, during concerts, award shows, and even documentaries, but this moment was different. It wasn't a stage. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't under the blinding lights of performance. It was real, spontaneous, raw. It was the kind of emotion that makes even silence sound loud.